Hello YouTube, this is ChardarYuGiOh, here with a very off-the-wall, bizarre hero deck profile. I was over at Notgonnalie48 and Evolutionworld24's, they're brothers, but I was over at their house this weekend. We just spent a lot of time just testing decks and building stuff and just having a good time. And I came up with this, I thought it was pretty neat and I wanted to share it. This is very experimental at the moment, but I like it. I think I'm going to try taking it to a locals just because I don't really care, it's locals. Anyway, onto the deck profile, 1 Stratos, 3 Alius, very basic. Triple Thunder King, very integral part of the deck. This has a lot of combos in it, and running 3 is absolutely necessary. It's very good in the meta anyway. 2 Card Trooper, I have a very low monster count, but I don't really mind milling my spells and traps. It doesn't really affect me that much, because I run multiples of them, and if I mill a monster, that's the goal, but the draw power and the beat stick is the main function of it. 2 Beast King Barbaros, it's a skill drain variant, so I'm running 2 Beast King. This is another combo in the deck that I'll get to later. 2 Valor, and an Emissary of Darkness Gorz. This has 2 functions in the deck. One is obviously has no TK stopper, the other it can just work as a 2700 attack beat stick, which is very good for some of the matchups I was testing against. Triple Gemini Spark, I still think that this is stable at 3. I see no reason to run it at a lower than that. 2 E-Call, and 1 Rhoda. I'm not sure about this ratio yet. I might drop 1 E-Call, given that I want to mill some of my heroes with the Card Trooper as well. But for right now, this is what I had it at before. This is what I'm just starting with. I'm just starting out with this deck. I've had it about a day now. 2 Pot of Duality, combo deck. Get your combo pieces. Triple Miracle Fusion, no Super Poly. Super Poly is in the side, but this deck is a skill drain variant. Super Poly is not really critical to it. I just want to focus on getting out Shining as easy as possible, so Triple Miracle Fusion. Triple MST, this is a huge switch from my other builds, which are in no MSTs, just because I believe that back row is more, it harms this variant more so than the Tour Guide variant. So I wanted to just, and I had 3 in the Agent deck, I kind of liked it, I just want to start testing this. I might cut it, I don't know yet. Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Book of Moon. Double skill drain, I might bump this up to 3. I had it at 2 in the last skill drain variant, so I wanted to start out with that, but I might bump 2. And then the off the wall part of it comes from Triple Call of the Haunted, and this is one of the main combos with the deck, it's particularly with Rai-Oh and Barbaros. You can mill your monsters with the Card Trooper, bring them back with Call, and once you have them back with Call, you can do basically anything. Barbaros becomes a 3000 beat stick. You can recycle your Gorz into a 2700 attack beat stick. Stratos gets its effect when summoned. You can Exceed, you can Fusion. It's a very good combo card that I feel it's very good in this deck. I tried teching it at 1 before, and then I decided to just build based around this and Card Trooper. Very similar to the Card Trooper Agent decks, but this is just something that I wanted to try. I thought it up one night, and it's like, this could be pretty cool. I just want to try it. Then for back row, I run 2 Tori. I don't want to run a ton of stun traps since I'm focused on milling. Most of the spells are searchable, so I don't tend to mill too bad, have my mills be too bad. I mean, obviously, I've milled 3 staples before, it happens, but it doesn't overly concern me. Torrential Tribute is what I feel is the most powerful of all the back rows, even more so than the Solemn Brigade, just because it stops spamming so much, and you can time it very well for when exactly you want to blow up and how much you want to blow up. So I might do a video just talking about Torrential Tribute and why I feel it is the optimal back row card for this format. 2 Torrential and a Hero Blast, because I'm milling the aliases. Hero Blast just makes sense for the deck. I might even bump this up to 2. I didn't like it in the other variants I played, but for this one I feel 2 might be a good number to have. Extra deck is very simple and hasn't been changed much. I use 2 Shining. I'm thinking about bumping this up to 3. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Nova Master, Absolute Zero, Gaia, Great Tornado, Escrodio. Most of these are Super Poly targets. Super Poly is sided, so I don't go into these very often. But I still think that they're a good thing to have, so you can side Super Poly against nearly any matchup that you should feel the need to. Utopia, Maestroke, Photon Pillar Operative, Evigashi Marrowgeist. I really like this one for Battle Searchers, especially the new Abyssland, or something like that. I don't even know how to pronounce it yet. The Battle Recruiter for the Mermails, which I think this card is very good against. It's just generally very good. There's a lot of things you don't want to see in the grave. I like that. Gemini Pearl, Blade Armor Ninja, Excalibur, and C39. I really don't like C39, but I didn't have any better options, like actually physically had a card. If anyone has any suggestions for what to replace this with, just let me know, because I don't particularly like this. Side deck, I side 2 Fossil Dyna over instead of Snowman Eater, because Gear Guys are one of the most spammy decks of the format, and a lot of decks like to spam 2, 3, 4 special summon monsters, so you can have this set, they attack into it, you rip their field apart. The first effect isn't very useful, but this thing will rip fields apart this format. Double Super Poly, I use this for Rabbit to get rid of Lagia, and just matchups that have monsters that I can't get rid of otherwise. Bottomless, for more stun traps in case I need to. Generally, this is very good against Rabbit, and there's lots of decks that I would want the extra removal in. 2 Maxi, 2 Royal Decree, 2 DD Crow, and triple Soul Drain. I'm using Soul Drain over Shadow Imprisoning Mirror now, because Inzectors aren't really a threat, because I have the Veilers and the Skill Drains. Not to mention they aren't really played. Dark Worlds are still a very rough matchup for me, and as well as Atlanteans, and this hurts Dark Worlds and Atlanteans, so I think that that's a very optimal side deck choice for this meta. I'm still working on it somewhat, but I'll take suggestions on the side deck and the main. I'll take suggestions on anything. I'm kind of set in my ways for this deck, just based on I want it to be obscure, I want it to be off the wall. I just wanted something unique and new. If you don't like it, you can tell me why down there. If you do like it, you think it's unique, thumb it up. If you don't like it, thumb it down. Just leave a comment and let me know what you think. Peace out, YouTube.